Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome back. Lloydminster residents looking to sell their homes might be waiting longer than expected. The housing market has slowed down in Alberta, including here in Lloydminster. The Alberta Real Estate Association says that's because the demand isn't where it's been in the past.
When you see sales that are well below normal levels, and you don't have inventories adjust, you're just left with too much product on the market. And that's exactly what it's been, is that sales have been weak, inventories have still risen, and that's caused the price declines.
The market is expected to continue to be tough for those looking to sell.
Over the last, let's say, 12 months, we might have seen some stabilization, but I mean, the trend is not up. Let's put it that way. I mean, we're hoping for some stability. We're hoping for the economy to get more stable. So then, that means more people are back to work, money's being generated.
Last year, the average price of a home in Lloydminster declined by 6%. The Lloydminster Bandits have donated a check to Border City Connects after playing in an annual charity game. In December, the Bandits and the Hillman Hitmen played in their third annual charity game. Half of the proceeds have been given to Border City Connects after a fire in their shop left them having to rent vehicles.
We talked about a number of places, but they're one that we think could benefit from the extra money, and it's one that we think is helping out within the community.
As an organization, the Bandits think it's important to give back, and they are always looking for a way to get involved within the community.
I think as an organization, we're definitely taking the right steps as getting involved within the community, whether it's through the charitable donations or even with minor hockey and getting involved with the kids.
Taking a look at sports now, the Lloydminster Bandits are back on the road this weekend, starting with St. Paul tonight at 8 p.m., then Vegreville tomorrow evening. The Bandits have had a slow start to 2019, losing 3 straight while playing with as few as 11 players last week due to injuries and suspensions.
It's tough when you have that few players. We were playing Wainwright, they're one of the top teams, and I don't know, we just had to try and manage our shifts. Stay out of the box is a big thing.
This has put more pressure on the players to find rest between games.
Just try and get a good rest the night before, eat a good meal, have a nap on the bus.
Lloydminster currently sits 12-11-1, 6th in the league. And the Bantam AAA Bobcats lost a pair of 1-goal games yesterday at the John Reid Memorial Tournament and were back in action competing with the Calgary Bisons for 3rd place in their pool. And while Lakeland Volleyball are in Fort McMurray tonight for a series, that doesn't hold the stakes that the following weekends will. Basketball playoffs essentially begin tonight at 6 p.m. The Wrestlers women's team is ahead of Keyano for the final playoff seed, but because the Huskies host Chris King's squad must climb higher up in the standings to get in. Lakeland is just 1 win back of both Concordia and Nate and need to replace their effort from Saturday's blowout victory.
Keyano's just as good as Concordia and just as physical. So for us, we got to maintain.
Chris has gone onto our team the whole time. It just needs to be about winning and knowing what you need to do to win. And especially personally, I know it's just a focus thing for me.
And the men has hosted don't have to qualification worries, but need to find chemistry with their new additions to reach their expectation of 10 wins this semester.
It's going to take a couple of weeks. We have Keyano coming in here, and they're currently in 3rd, but really in 2nd. They're a real talented team as well, so we need to put something together pretty quickly.
Key to having success this weekend will be increasing ball movement.
Our coach tells us a lot, to push the ball up with the pass instead of the dribble. It takes 4 or 5 dribbles to get down the court. 1 pass and it's up the court.
Round 2 of the weekend series begins tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. And now we're going to go back to Brett Holden, who is live at the Civic Center.
Joined now by starting goaltender tonight and the guy with the best suits on the team, Cale Elder. I just got to start with your suits. You obviously aren't wearing one right now, but a beautiful baby blue suit and a little bit of burgundy. Let's talk about your suit game.
I don't know. There's not too much to it. Just kind of go in the store and picked out what I liked.
Perfect. Now let's talk a little hockey. It's your first game back in a little while. Let's talk about how you are mentally heading into tonight's game and how excited you are heading into tonight's game as well.
Yeah, it's real exciting to finally get back on the ice in a game situation. Mentally, I just trying to take it as any other game, just try not to overthink it too much.
And this is a team that you know personally pretty well. 2-1 against Fort McMurray so far this season, and you even got an assist against Fort McMurray. We were talking a little bit. You didn't even realize. So obviously you're a little into the game there. So what do you know about Fort McMurray? What are you ready for tonight, especially with Reed Morrison there, 60 points for him?
Just still trying to take it as just like another game. Try not to focus about too much about who's on their team, but still in the back of your mind that, you know, they do have a lot of good players, and Reed Morrison does have a really good shot. So just try not to think about it too much, though.
Now, when it comes to in the locker room here, you guys have had a long stretch of games here. You do have the weekend off, but 10 games in 15 days. How is it feeling in the locker room?
In the locker room, I'd say the guys are a little bit tired, but we still got our days off and just practices in the morning. But I think that we take care of our bodies pretty well here, and everyone's ready to go.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Centennial Civic Center, where tonight the Bobcats will face the Oil Barons from Fort McMurray. But first, let's head back into the studio where Michaela has a look at your weather.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brett. Going to be a very exciting game down there tonight. Starting off with this gorgeous shot of Bud Miller from I don't think today, because it seems like it was a little bit too cold to go out there skating, but gorgeous picture nonetheless. As we look to our numbers, not so gorgeous. We are sitting very cold, but our numbers will get better over Sunday. So minus 22 right now, feels like minus 33 out there, minus 20 for Vermilion, minus 22 in Marwayne, minus 21 right now in St. Paul, minus 20 for Bonnyville, sitting at minus 22 in Cold Lake, minus 19 for Lac La Biche. We're all expected to get about a 5-centimeter dumping of snow by tomorrow, so could start this evening. About a 60% chance we'll see some of that flurry activity hit the area tonight and then continue on until tomorrow. Minus 22 for Maidstone, also in North Battleford. That snow is going to start, if not now, throughout the evening in the supper hour there. Minus 27 up in St. Walburg, minus 26 right now in Meadow Lake. As we look up north, numbers are sitting almost near that minus 30 range. Very cold up north, minus 27 in La Ronge, also in Buffalo Narrows, same within La Lodge. And then as we move up the map, minus 34 in Uranium City, and that's the same number in Fort Chipewyan, which was again the cold spot in Alberta today. As we move further into the map, minus 26 in Fort McMurray, minus 16 in Slave Lake, and sitting at minus 15 in Grand Prairie right now. As we look down south, these numbers are getting even colder, as they have been quite warm for most of the season so far. Minus 13 right now in Lethbridge, also in Medicine Hat, a little bit cooler at minus 16 in Calgary, also in Coronation. As we move into Saskatchewan, minus 15 right now in Swift Current, minus 20 in Moose Jaw, minus 21 in the Queen City. As we look to our snow accumulation for the weekend, like I said, we're going to get about 5 centimeters of snow. As you can see, it's kind of dancing right on that cusp of about 4-ish centimeters there. And as we move on to the map, as you can see, most of the province is going to get a dumping and is moving in out throughout the east as well. So in for a snowy Saturday, but a nice Sunday at least. Minus 16 is our daytime high here tomorrow. Minus 17 in Maidstone, also in North Battleford. Minus 19 tomorrow for St. Walburg. And then as we move over into Alberta, a little bit warmer actually at minus 14 for Vermilion tomorrow. Minus 13 in Vegreville. Minus 16 for St. Paul and Bonnyville, also in Lac La Biche. And a daytime high of minus 17 up in Cold Lake. For our 7-day forecast, we are going to see a bit of a warming trend, which is nice to see. So we're almost out of this cold snap. Minus 16 tomorrow, minus 23 for our overnight low. Sunday, plenty of sunshine, minus 17, minus 18 as our low. And then Monday, that cloud cover does start to pile up there. Minus 10, minus 8 on Tuesday, back into those single digits for a high of minus 9 on Wednesday. Thursday, 50% chance we could see some more flurry activity, but a high of only minus 1, which will be a very nice warm up. Minus 16 as our low there. And then next Friday, sunshine and minus 6. And now we're going to send it back to Brett Holden, who is live at the Civic Center.
Joined now by the Bobcats' newest defenseman, Andrew Smiley. Now, Andrew, let's talk a little bit about just a trade. This is your fifth game rather, with the Bobcats. What was it like just coming to Lloydminster and finding out you were traded?
Well, I was pretty surprised. Didn't really see it coming, but I understand what Nipawin was trying to do, and I'm excited for the opportunity to come here. I get to play a more featured role in the team here, and I get to play a lot of minutes, and I think it'll be a good spot for my development going forward.
Now, you're obviously new to the AJHL with Nipawin. You were in the SJ, but what do you know about Fort McMurray, and what are you expecting for tonight?
Well, I think they're a pretty good team. There's a few guys from Calgary that I know from back home on the roster, so with those guys I kind of know what to expect, but I think they'll probably come fast, and they got some guys who can put up some points, so we got to be careful in the D zone.
And for you, what do you have to do on the ice just to make yourself feel comfortable tonight?
Well, I always like to try and make a hit or get hit early off just to get into the game, and as long as I'm making crisp passes and breaking pucks out fast, I think we'll be fine.
Now for you, Andrew, you were part of that Nipawin Hawks team who played the Humboldt Broncos the first game after the crash. For you, you were able to experience that first game. What was that atmosphere like, and just being able to play in that?
Well, it was a super emotional night for everyone. Definitely difficult to focus on hockey with all the extra stuff that's obviously more important, honoring the lives of the guys that passed away and the guys that survived the crash. But once the puck dropped, it was pretty amazing. The rink was absolutely jammed, and you got some pretty famous TV personalities there, and yeah, it was a super cool experience. Definitely a memory that I'll have forever.
Perfect. Andrew's playing in his 5th game as a Bobcat tonight as the Bobcats take on the Fort McMurray Oil Barons. Puck drop will be at 7:30. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Civic Center, but let's head back into the studio where Michaela and Elise will be talking about your question of the day.
All right, well, for today's question of the day, kind of stemming around our ag report today, just on meat consumption in general. And yesterday we ran a few stories about just research that's been found. So we just want to know simply, would you consider reducing your meat consumption for environmental reasons? I am not much of a meat eater. I used to be a vegetarian, but now I do eat meat. I don't cook it typically very much. It's just not something I like. So I'm definitely on that. I could definitely reduce, but I'm still gonna eat it.
Yeah.
But I don't see why people can't do a meatless Monday. I don't see an issue with it.
No, I think you can. I mean, it's not the same thing. Like I do eat meat, I always have, but I don't see it being a big problem if you just like decide to do a veggie dish on a week. Like I don't think it would really drastically change everybody's diet. I think the reaction, I think people are maybe feeling that they have to like cut meat out completely. And now they're panicking, but it's just gradual stuff.
And I think something like Meatless Monday is a great place to start.
Yeah.
We did put out a poll, 87% of you, and we had over 600 people weigh in on our polls say no, they would not consider it. So definitely an interesting topic. We always ask a question of the day where you can weigh in. But now we're going to get to our pets of the day, and at the end of the show tonight, we will be announcing this week's winner. All right, let's see who we have for our pets today. This is Rusty, very cute little orange cat.
Very cute.
That was sent to us by Shirley. Thank you for saying that in. This is Bella. Bella was she in the yellow vest rally?
Maybe
perhaps?
she was.
Yeah, very cute there. That was sent to us by Candace. At least you'll see her coming.
Yeah.
This is Jackie and Gary.
Okay, sure.
Very cute. Okay, I like that. I like the little duo there. That was sent to us by Holly. This is Rebel. That's a cute little shot.
It's a good photo,
yeah. Very good. That was sent to us by Tammy. And then last but not least, we have Zoe and Mia, the sweet little duo sent to us by Shannon. Like I said, we will be announcing this week's winner, so if you saw your pet here on Primetime Local News this week, stay tuned to the end of the show. We will be letting you know if you won a $50 gift card to the Lloydminster Pet Pad.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Joined now by Dwayne Davison here in studio, and we're going to be talking about the gun show that's coming up here on Saturday. Now let's talk a little bit about the show, what's going to be going on this Saturday, and maybe some of the new things that's going to be going on as well.
Well, we're having a show, and we're hosting various vendors that bring their wares to the show, and they show guns and outdoor products that are associated to the outdoor industry, and there's new products that they like to show, and a lot of these vendors, they travel throughout Western Canada to various gun shows with all their products.
And we were talking a little bit about a banquet as well. Let's kind of talk about that.
Yeah, our banquet is next Saturday on the 26th, and just for everybody's sake, we do only sell advance tickets up until the Monday before, on the 21st, I believe it is. And so get your tickets as soon as you can. It's a heck of a feast, and we put on a little entertainment, trophies, and that, and it's just an enjoyable evening out for the family.
Let's talk about now just kind of the importance of an event like this, bringing in all these vendors, and especially in a place like Lloydminster as well.
Yeah. What it does is it gives an avenue for the people with some unique stuff. We have display vendors there that are typically mainly for display only, and they do buy and sell antique guns. So if you do have something that you're interested in selling, there's an opportunity for you to do it there. And you'll see a lot of interesting stuff, a lot of interesting people, clothing for the outdoors and that you might not see in other places. And it's just a great opportunity to experience something maybe you haven't experienced, or you're actually looking for something that's specific to what you need.
So let's talk about now just the history of the show and your history as well with the show and the outdoors aspect rather of it as well.
Yeah, the show, the exact number of years eludes me, but it's in the plus 25-year range, and it's well renowned within Western Canada as one of the better shows. And you know, we end up with 70 to 80 vendors and up to 250 tables, and so it's a big show in comparison to some.
Now, we were talking a little bit as well just before we came on, just about some of the money that it goes to as well. Let's talk about that too.
Yeah, with our Fish and Game Club here, our memberships and our earnings go to enhance habitat and wildlife, fisheries, and also youth. We're really strong on the youth aspect of it, promoting outdoor activity within youth, and they're not sitting there playing their video games or watching TV. It's just a great thing. You got some real enthusiastic youth that really enjoy this stuff.
So let's get to kind of the exact dates and times for the shows and the banquets as well.
Yeah, the show coming up on the weekend here, it's Saturday from 10 to 6, and then Sunday it's 10 to 3. So, you know, get down there before that. We always have some people showing up right at the end, but you can't possibly get through it in the last 15 minutes. You're going to be running to get in, and then you got to get out right away. So make some time for it and talk to the vendors, and you'll find some interesting stories come out of it.
That could be the outdoors aspect as well, rushing through a little bit.
Yes.
Let's just talk as well. Where is the event held this weekend, and for the banquet as well?
Yeah, the gun show and outdoor show is at the Service Sports Center on the south side of town, and we're both in both of the field houses there, so there's a little walkway in between, and some people don't see that walkway all the time, but there's signs and all that, and you need to go through both because there's some good stuff.
Perfect. We want to thank Dwayne for coming in today and speaking with us. The gun show will be on Saturday at the Service Sports Center, and we'll have a little bit more primetime local news coming up.
Hey, what's going on? It's Pete Jackson from Boom 95.3, and here's what's happening in Cold Lake. And we're going to start with an event that's coming up in a couple months' time, but right now the nominations are open for the Cold Lake Women of Influence Awards that is going to be happening March the 8th at the Energy Center in Cold Lake. Now you can go online right now to womenofinfluencecoldlake.org and get the nominations for influential women within the city of Cold Lake. And there's a lot of different topics or a lot of different categories that can be nominated. Everything from sports and fitness to the business community to community involvement and so forth. So get those nominations in, and you can get your tickets for the award ceremony, which is happening March the 8th at the Energy Center in Cold Lake. Another event that's happening, and this one's happening next week over at the Grand Parlor in Cold Lake as part of their Winter Blues event schedule. They've got a great act coming in called The Young Novelist, and this show is going to be taking place on January 23rd. There are limited tickets available left for this performance. You can get those online at thegrandparlor.ca, or if you're in Cold Lake, you can stop over to Bean Trees Cafe and pick up those tickets. If you have something you want featured on What's Happening, shoot me an email, pete@boom953.ca.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
All right, thank you very much. We are joined back with Gayleen Gilman. Hope I pronounced that correctly.
You did.
All right, and you're here today to talk about your book, Beyond Shattered Dreams, which is out in stores now. And first off, just give us a little insight on what the book is all about.
Well, my husband, we went through a journey of grief. Well, first of all, he had an illness, and by the time we got the illness diagnosed, he actually needed a liver transplant. So with that liver transplant, we went through about 4.5 years of dealing with his illness, and I really wanted to try and control the situation. I was so afraid of losing him because he was my world. Like, I went right from my parents right to Merv, so I was very dependent on him. So I tried to control the situation. He ended up passing away in 2014, and then that's when my world was shattered, and it was like, who am I now? Where do I go from here? How am I going to survive? A lot of questions came, and there were so many scary steps that I had to take to learn that I find my strength, and there was a lot of self-love and a lot of self-care. I had to basically learn to love myself, and taking those scary steps, I've grown so much. So a lot of life lessons came my way.
That's absolutely fantastic. Now, at what point did you say to yourself, I want to help people, I want to create a platform that can help others, that after I went through my
Probably shortly after he passed away, rather than dealing with the grief, I actually thought, well, we need a grief support group. And of course I had a friend, she was our funeral director, and I talked to her, and she says, well, we need to go to Dr. Ellen Wolfeld's courses. And she says, you know, we'll do a course. So I ended up going to one in the summer, and then I thought, holy cow, I don't think I can do this. Well, there was a reason I couldn't do it, because I needed to do a lot of healing and myself. And our mind kind of knows, but our heart is still shattered back there. So I really needed to share my story, and I needed to honor what I was feeling instead of burying it and thinking I was all right. So.
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely a good thing there for yourself. You mentioned the cover. You mentioned the cover is really unique, and just talk about the reason behind that.
Yeah, I was inspired by the cover. That's our backyard, and my husband, he loved doing yard work. So what happened is about 2 months after he passed away, I got the beautiful sign. There was a butterfly outside the door. We always give each other a hug and a kiss and head for work on the other side of the garden doors. And when I was getting ready for work, it was cold, and there was this beautiful monarch butterfly. So, it was, yeah. So it was inspiring for me. That inspiration helped me to decide what my cover would be.
Absolutely. And during this time of since writing the book, have you met anybody that this has helped in the community?
Yes, I've had the fortune. I've been fortunate to talk to so many people, and they're sharing their stories with me. They're teaching me so much. They're allowing me to be a part in their journey and be able to share. And one thing I did learn in my course when I went to Colorado is we can't fix grief. All we can do is support those that are going through it, and just allow them to feel whatever it is they're feeling, and allow them the time that they need to do their grieving. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, we're running out of time here, but just really quickly, you're in town for a little bit doing some events, but you're also going to be doing a book signing down at Coles on Saturday. Just give us, our viewers, a time and when they can come down and meet you.
At 11 o'clock on Saturday, I will be at Coles. I look forward to getting to chat with everybody, and I would love to sign a book for you. My books are at Coles, and I'm working at getting them into the hospital here at Lloydminster too. Awesome. They've been moving they've been moving well in the hospitals, because it is dealing with the illness, and it, you know, it's a tough journey watching somebody that you love starting to fail. So
absolutely. Well, you're doing great work, and we really appreciate you coming down here, so thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me, Connor.
You're welcome.
Well, the doors have opened up here at the Centennial Civic Center. Tonight, your Lloydminster Bobcats go up against the Fort McMurray Oil Barons. A couple notes for you tonight. Cale Elder will get his first start in goal for the Lloydminster Bobcats for the first time since December 15th, as well. The fifth game for newcomers Andrew Smiley as well as Chase Anderson. Chase Anderson being a Lloydminster product. And Javen Leslie is going to be making his playing in his fourth game rather here tonight for the Bobcats. In his first game in the AJHL, he recorded an assist, so we'll see how that goes. Elder is 2-1 against the Oil Barons so far this season, including an assist there as well. That'll do it for me here tonight. As I said, the Oil Barons and the Bobcats face off tonight at 7:30. Warm-ups are about to get started. That'll do it for me here. Let's head back into the studio as Michaela and Elise will wrap up tonight's show.
All right, thank you so much, Brett. We have one more cold day ahead of us and plenty of snow. We're going to see about 5 centimeters of snow fall between this evening and the end of tomorrow evening, and then we start to warm up on Sunday. A nice sunny day for Sunday. -7 there for our daytime high, which is going to feel like a significant warm up compared to what we were feeling earlier this week. -18 there, -10 on Monday, and then we just get into those nice single digits throughout the rest of the week with even a -1 on Thursday. 50% chance we could see some more precipitation there, but going to feel very, very nice, I think, compared to this morning. It felt close to -40, so yeah. Well, it is the end of the show, which means we are announcing this week's winner for our pet giveaway. Let's see who won.
This always makes me so
I know, it's our favorite part. All right, drum roll. Let's see who won. We don't know. This is a surprise. Daisy and Lavender. Oh, this cute little duo. You're going to get so many treats.
Yeah.
That was submitted to us by Melanie, so congratulations to you guys. You have won a $50 gift card to the Lloydminster Pet Pad. Great way to start the weekend. We do make the draw every Friday here on the show, so if you have a pet or even, I don't know, submit someone else's pet, you can do that. You can, I don't know, maybe you saw a dog once and you could send us a picture. Yeah, you can win a gift card and then gift it, I suppose. Yeah, thanks to the Pet Pad for that. We always look forward to our Pet of the Day. You can submit your pet's photo by emailing us at tvnews@newcap.ca, or you can send it to us on any of our social media platforms. We love looking at the animals.
It's definitely our favorite part. When we get emails in the morning and they're all pictures, everyone gathers around.
Yeah, we all gather around the computer and we look at them. We just love them so much. So please keep those coming, and everyone enjoy the weekend.